Moving on. So scenario 4, your development plan requires changes to one of these help desk fields. Identify all the work for the references to that field to get a full assessment of the impact. So in Abydos Analyser, we have a number of search tools which allow you to find information quickly about the elements inside your Remedy applications. One of them is the field reference search. So we can choose any field based on the form. So at the moment we've got a help desk, but you can use any form. And these are the fields associated with that form. And I've selected the status one because it's got plenty of references. And then you can choose what objects you want to search through to find references to that field. And here again, we can just show ones that have been changed based on a date range. And then it'll do a search of those. It'll do a search for those references. So what this is showing you is that all these objects reference that field in some way. It tells you what form they're on. Some of them are on this change form here, some on other help desk forms, and where exactly in that form it's referenced. So if I drill down into this, it says it's in the run if qualification. If I look at the run if qualification down here, we can see the status field referenced. Okay. So from here, if you want to document, you can do it two ways. You can just produce a pretty vanilla report, like as we showed before, where it just exports all those references a list, or we can document them, which will take it will take this information and populate the documentation feature for you. So you don't have to fill this in all manually, and then you can produce the report from here with a bit more depth. So it's just going to quickly knock together a document for you, export it to Word, and here again, here's the same information, but with a bit more detail and ready to present. Okay. So, like I say, this is a really useful tool for anybody who's making changes to a field and wants to find out the impact that making changes to that field has on the application. Okay. We think that would normally take you sort of 3 to 4 hours, and then on top of that you have the documentation, which will take you the same time again probably. Scenario 5 then. Your organization is rebranding one of its products. Find all references to the product name and workflow so that it can be updated and produce a report. So this is a different type of search, and this is going to be used for anything, not just for finding product names. As we have a string search, you can search for any word anywhere in the application or in specific forms. You can see here, you can specify what objects to look at. You got the options here to make sure it doesn't miss anything through case sensitivity, or whether it's used in a word. So we're going to search for this word product, partial match, case insensitive, and everything. Here again, you can modify by date range. And it's going to find all instances of the word product everywhere in the application, no matter the usage. So I'm just going to take this top one. We can see it's in a message on else action 4. I can drill down to this, else action 4. And somewhere along here we should find the word product. There we go. So really simple string search for finding words that you may have. You can use this again to find error messages rather than the error message tool. It's just a far more general search. And as you can see here, we can generate a report again. I'll just quickly do that. Showing also here it's got the last modified date if there is one. So as you can see, this was last changed on the 13th of January this year, and it tells you where the matchification was. And what you can do is, if you did have this this scenario and you need to update all the use of the word product to change it to products, then you could use this basis. You could use this search as the basis of your proof that you have done your work. Similarly, you can document objects for a bit more depth. Now we think that would probably take you 1 to 2 hours scanning through logs and finding instances of the word and then making those changes. But there again, the documentation would take even longer. Okay, scenario 6, your development is now completed and ready to release to production server. check there's no broken workflow and report any that is found. So this is really a sanity check to make sure that any changes that you've made, any new development you've done, is going to work correctly, and it's not going to have any dead ends or unreferenced fields as such. So we think it was probably take you 4 to 6 hours. We have a very simple tool, if I go back into Analyzer, for finding broken workflow. It does exactly what it says on the tin. And if I look in this, you can choose the form to search through. If you've just been working on the one form, I'm going to use the help desk again. You can analyze multiple forms if you like, and specify all of them if you prefer, and do a complete system-wide health check. Pardon me. I'm just going to use the help desk as an example. And I know there's plenty of problems with this help desk. We don't really use this. It's just for demonstration purposes. But it's going to find any broken workflow in here. Broken workflow basically being dead ends in the workflow. So you can see here it tells you where the problem is. On this one, for instance, change field action 1. It says there's a field reference there that does not exist. If I go to if action 1, there you go, give you a prompt saying unrecognized field name, and we know that there's a problem here, and we can go and make those changes. You can even delete that action, so it's not going to have that problem. But if this was then put live on a server and somebody came up against this problem, then you may take a lot of time fixing it. However, if you do this check before you upload, then you can save yourself a lot of time in future. Here again, we can generate a report and take all this information and put it into Excel. There we go. And I'll just show you one of the ones where it's a qualification as well, so you can get an idea of what sort of thing causes this problem. But you can see here in the qualification that it's just got it doesn't have an idea. It's just put in the field ID for something that doesn't exist, and hence that's why it just has the number there. So that's a real good sanity check to make sure the performance of your applications is top-notch. If you make some changes and delete these fields, you can just refresh this search, and you'll see the list shrinking. And I'll just move on now. So we think normally that would take you 4 to 6 hours, just trawling through logs to make sure there's no dodgy field references. Scenario 7, you have performance issues reported on your help desk form. Generate a report on index usage for all workflow on the help desk form. Now, this is a service that we actually offer companies as well to do a health check on their systems to make sure that they're running at peak efficiency. Now, poorly indexed searches can cause massive load on your servers. So we've developed this tool to analyze search performance. I'm going to take the help desk again. It's my very favorite form. And we have a few options here. We can just find the unqualified searches, obviously a problem, unindexed searches, or searches that cannot be indexed. We're just going to index usage report, which will say also tell you the searches that are operating correctly as well. So I'm just going to run this now. And it should give you some output on the searches, all the searches on this form, and what, if any, problems there are with it. So these are all indexed, so they're not a problem. But these full table scans, these are problematic. They can just be going round and round because their qualifications aren't set correctly. And here from here, for the documentation side, we can generate a report. If I just just the index usage summary. It'll export this into Excel again, and you can use this as part of your development plan to make sure that your servers are running at peak efficiency. Here we go again. It's just taking all that data. It's actually color-coded it by importance and how much of a problem they are as well for you. So these full table scans are obviously high priority, and they're at the top.